Happiness through curiosity on TRS Clips. We can have a conversation as men here and I can ask you about your life, or we can have a conversation as boys. So the boy in me wants to ask the boy in you, why you a wrestler? Why do you choose to be a wrestler?
Oh, man. Let's see. I mean, in all honesty, I mean, when I was a child, like, what adolescent boy watches wrestling and doesn't go, that's what I want to be when I grow up? I remember watching Hulk Hogan rip his shirt off and getting in trouble for tearing my shirt off because we weren't financially well off. I said I might have 4 or 5 shirts at the time, and I got in trouble for ripping them off, but I didn't care because I was so caught up in that of like larger than life characters, Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan and all these greats that came before me. And just seeing that and, having an opportunity, because I never knew how to get involved in the wrestling world where I was from. Like I said, small town USA, there's not a lot going on. I mean, it's pretty much the same way it was when I left 20 years ago. So where am I going with this? My brain farted for a second. I do that sometimes. That's another trait of getting hit in the head for making a living.
You were talking about why the boy in you chose wrestling.
The boy, yes. So for me, a lot of it too I got away from where I wasn't watching wrestling. I got into strongman, and strongman at the time, thankfully it's getting better about it, but it wasn't financially feasible. I was homeless at the time, bouncing around from people's couches because I couldn't have a full-time job because I had to train so much and all this stuff. And I can remember struggling and going, I really love what I'm doing, but I can't live like this. And I had become friends with Mark Henry after I won North America's Strongest Man. And then I went on to win the Arnold Classic, and Mark Henry won the very first Arnold Classic ever. And he was always there as a judge, and he saw something in me because when I competed in World's Strongest Man, I was more than fee, fi, fo, fum, pick it up, set it down, and go to the back. I was out there, Hulk Hogan. I was imagining Hulk Hogan when I was a kid, ripping my shirt off again, throwing it in the crowd, having 20,000 people go crazy at the Arnold Classic. And Mark Henry saw something, and he called Vince McMahon. He said, you need to look at this kid. And he put his name on the line, bought my plane ticket, flew me down to Florida. Mark Henry personally picked me up from the airport, took me all around, showed me a good time, was there for my tryout. And I owe so much to that man. Like, I'm a firm believer, there's so many people that say they're self-made. I don't believe anyone on this earth is self-made. Somebody has helped you along the way, and it's whether you're humble enough to realize that and appreciate what people have done for you. And that's why I'm so animate about giving back, because I am not where I am in life without a humongous amount of people helping me along the way.
Yeah. Destiny plays a role in life. That's the one truth I figured through the show as well.
Yep. You can't fight faith.
Yeah. What did Mark Henry tell you? What's the biggest advice he gave you?
God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Shut up and listen.
He told you to listen and learn.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's my advice that I pass on now too to younger athletes that ask me, hey, what did I need to do? I said, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Listen twice as much as you talk.
As a professional wrestler, at this point, what are you learning?
I learn every time. I learned how to sit down and have these interviews, because this is something 10 years ago I probably wouldn't have done because I was terrified. That social anxiety would have had me in here going, I don't know what to do and stuff
Really?
like that. So I've learned not only as far as being an athlete in the ring, but I've learned and grown as a businessman on top of it. Like, I had so many first in-person conversations with Vince McMahon, and I learned so much because if you talk entrepreneur, businessman, he's on the Mount Rushmore of them, of what he's done for this company, this industry over the years. And then just, people's attention spans are so short nowadays because there's so much content out there to consume. So as being a WWE superstar, you constantly have to evolve with the times, because if you don't, they're going to forget about you. So it's learning some new way of invoking a different emotion, getting a different movement in a ring, stuff like that, to constantly keep up with the curve of entertainment and where it's going, because it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger every year. So it's finding a way to stay ahead of that curve.
Like constant reinvention, constantly challenging yourself.
Yep.
We've had so many athletes on the show, like sports people, and that's the one truth about sports in general. Sports entertainment, I think it's actually cut from the same cloth. there's this whole conversation that people have about sports versus sports entertainment. I'm not even gonna get in there because it's already done on too many
No,
podcasts.
my funny thing is the people that talk like that. Come, get it. Just get in the ring with me for 5 minutes, and we'll see how much this is sport and entertainment.
You know how people have figured that out though? Like how the general public has figured it out? Through podcasts of Joe Rogan and Logan Paul and all these guys who talk to you guys. And now that we get to know your reality through these conversations, and I hope that it's okay for you and you're not feeling anxious while talking to me. I can't believe Braun Strowman would be feeling anxious talking to me. But my point is, people have got to know about your minds and your hearts through podcasts. And now they understand what sports entertainment actually requires of you. So you're saying that you constantly need to like challenge yourself.
Well, that's why you've seen my physique change over the years, and my move sets, and my monikers, and my catchphrases, and all that stuff. And you watch all the superstars, the ones that have been doing it for 10 years plus now, they're always reinventing themselves. They're always keeping the snowball rolling and getting it bigger per se. So it's just figuring out your niche and figuring out how to connect with the audience. Because at the end of the day, that's all it is figuring out how to connect with the audience.
Enjoy this video, subscribe to TRS Clips for more.